let us look at some data. So I looked at last 10 years of average collection by these three cons, but I also included one more person, which is Rajinikanth, right? So if you look at the 10-year collection, average collection over last 10 years, the Amir Khan leads, right? Amir Khan's movie, this is a worldwide collection. It's not just India collection. The next is Rajinikanth, right? And then Salman, then Shah Rukh. I also have one more person, which is Mahesh Babu there, right? So if you look at last 10 years of collection, the average collection is far ahead of other two cons is Amir Khan, right? Actually, next to Amir Khan is actually Rajinikanth. Let us look at in India. Again, it's the same. Amir at the top, and then Rajini, then Salman, then Shah Rukh, then Mahesh. Let us also look at overseas collection, right? Here again, Amir is leading, right? And comparatively, Salman and Shah Rukh are slightly behind him, and Rajini is losing out on this. You have to remember that where is this market, right? So in the last few years, Amir Khan picked up a huge market in China and Korea. So a lot of his, the recent movies do very well. So you see his movies such as Three Idiots and Dangal and so on, especially Three Idiots, right? I visited one of the Seoul stores about 3 years back, and it was one of the video stores, and I could see movies from across the world, right? But from India, there was only one movie DVD, which was Three Idiots, right? There was nothing else other than one movie. So it actually tells how he is able to connect in different cultures. So it is not a big deal to connect in India because you know the culture, you grew up in this culture, but he is able to make that connection to a place where nobody knows him, and suddenly his movie gets released and he is quite popular. So maybe the other person who made that connection was Rajinikanth in Japan. So his movies are huge hits in Japan. Let us also look at in USA, again, still Amir Khan leads the average collection in US. And in UK, this is where Shah Rukh Khan is doing well. So when it comes to UK, maybe the DDLJ effect is still continuing. People are still living in that, Dilwani and Dulhania Le Jayenge movie days. So Shah Rukh does well. And also in Gulf, he does well. So if you look at Australia again, Amir is the better. Gulf, both are similar, but I think Shah Rukh may be slightly doing well compared to Amir. And this is, okay, let me ignore this. But if you look at this is where you see a huge difference. Obviously, Mumbai and Delhi, when you say Mumbai region, it's basically Maharashtra, Gujarat, and MP and states and so on. But this is, you will find this huge, so this is, if you look at this entire square as the collection of Amir Khan. And obviously, most of it is coming from Mumbai and Delhi, but this is interesting, China, right? There is a big box of revenue for Amir Khan movies coming from China. And if you look at Salman Khan, you don't find China. He seems to be doing well in Rajasthan and of course in Karnataka. UAE he seems to be doing well, but you don't find China there. There is a small portion here. Amir most of his outside India is coming from UAE, the Gulf area, right? This is where he seems to be doing well outside India. I'll skip this, but let us look at budget versus collection, because you can't just look at only the collection, how much money they have spent to make those movies. This is 2007. More or less, here if you look at, probably Rajini is here, because the budget is probably lower, but collection is higher, right? But over a period of time, Amir started moving up. So in the last 2-3 years, Amir Khan is actually doing very well because his movies seems to be having good collection outside India as well. So that's, these are all dollar money. So you see that there's a lot of revenue generated. But last year, all of them did badly. So all the movies did not do well, all three cons. But you'll see that somewhere Rajinikanth is somewhere here because all his movies did well in the last year. So basically what we are seeing is that if you look at three cons, right? when you talk about a movie, it is not about the actor alone. So there are other things, the theme, the direction, the photography, the entire package. So if the entire package is, it doesn't have entertainment value, right? Even if you're talking about social issue like Tare Zameen Par or Chak De or Swadesh, right? So you have to package it well. And sometimes if you don't package it well, even though you may be a great actor, but it bombs in box office. So I think off late, Shah Rukh is not getting the package right. So most of his movies are not running because it's not about his talent or his ability to act, but the getting the package right, he is struggling, whereas Amir seems to be doing very well in getting the package right. And if you look at Salman, I can relate Salman Khan to more like a Bisibella bath, right? You'll always find something which you like, the taste. So there's always some element which attracts a certain section of the people. So he will probably have that followers, right? Whereas Amir, there is an expectation is different. So people would expect, being termed as a perfectionist, they would expect him to come up with not just entertainment or entertainer, but also address some kind of social issues, right? Another, if you look at the data, which is IMDb data, where they collect a lot of ratings across global audience. If you go and look at the top 10 movies of all these three, right? Top 10 movies of, say, Amir Khan. Out of 10, 9 had a rating of more than 8, right? One movie which did not have more than 8 was Rangila, right? All others had a rating of more than 8. If you look at Shah Rukh Khan, out of 10, only 2 had rating of more than 8. One was Swadesh, the other one was Chak De India. And when it comes to Salman Khan, none of them had a rating of more than 8, but he seems to be, doing well in box office. So when you start comparing these three, probably the fan base itself is different. So there are general audience, movie watchers, they go and watch any movie they feel that it is nice to watch. But there are expectations if it is a Shah Rukh Khan movie, if there are expectation if it is a Amir Khan movie, if there is expectation when it's a Salman Khan movie. So if that expectation is not met, then they seem to be struggling, right? So the data says that if you look at the consistent performance for last 10 years in Indian market, just don't look at only the Bollywood, Bollywood, but if you look at the entire cinema, it seems to be Amir Khan and Rajinikanth, the consistent performance, right? And off late, again, these two are doing very well compared to the other two. And yes, with Salman Khan, there is a guaranteed return. So the producers are not worried that they may lose money, but that is becoming questionable with Shah Rukh Khan. So I'm talking more from, what is happening when it comes to money.